All right. Hello, Internet. I am back from my rest earlier. My short rest, yes. Sorry. Hold up. Let me see something. Is there a 4 down here? There should be another player save. I don't like the way that does that, but yeah. Yeah, okay, player save 4. And then F and player save 5. Okay. Okay, so I'm picking up Primogenesis. Stuff's going down. And now we're helping people out with their Kashik problems. And yeah, I'm just gonna... I hope to make it really fun in this playthrough. I would like to skip dialogue, but I'm not going to. But it's like, I just want to make as much progress as I can, so here we go. Meeting myself, let's do it.
My lord, milady.
We received the dame's message. There have been sightings of strange creatures, I understand.
With the blue eyes. Yes. Like a Kashik, but different. They've taken so many. I've lost count.
A Kashik, but different.
Ultimus thralls. And what of your mistress? Is she here?
Oh, no. She went to the garrison to ask what they were planning on doing about all this.
Then we'll look for her there.
We could leave.
Madame, please! Half the garrison's been slaughtered by those things. We lost the captain this very morning.
We've tried requesting reinforcements, but there's been no word from the capital or the Dominion in days! What more would you have us do?
I would have you do your duty. Those at the Vale look to me for protection. And protect them I shall. Because they are my charges, and that is my duty. In case you have forgotten, the people of this town are your charges. But more than that, they are your people. Your sisters, your brothers, your lovers. So you have a choice. Lay down your sword and watch as they are slaughtered, or take it up and do what is right.
She speaks the truth, you know. This here, it's all we have. It's all that's left.
What we have left is our lives! Do you really want us to lose them as well?
Not if we don't have to. Look, there's a cask under the captain's bunk. Let's talk about this over a drink, eh?
I'm listening.
I'll have a word with him.
Ah, Clive. I didn't expect help to arrive so quickly. And sought to take matters into my own hands.
It was a noble effort. But I thought you might still need some support.
I'd like you to consider my needs.
What we need to consider is where the creatures came from.
The way the survivors speak of them, one would think they appeared out of thin air. And perhaps they did. It's hard to know what to believe these days.
We'll talk to the survivors. You're a pikeman, yes? What happened?
I've got family in Moor. I heard the flood was spreading, so I went to see if they were all right. And a pack of them glowing things found me in the meadow. I ran for my life. I never did get to the village.
Leave that to us.
My family!
What did we do to deserve this? Did you see the creatures that attacked you?
Creatures? Yeah, they came out of nowhere. They went for Joseph first, then me, and then they were just gone.
Do you remember where you were?
On the road from Oriflamme. We just passed more when... Where's my Joseph?
It's all right. Just rest now. At least we have an idea of where the thralls might be now. We should head for more.
Look!
I see them. With me! Save your strength. This one. Get him. Over here. This one. Nice try. Get him. Go for it. This one.
you think there are more?
There are always more. But I'd say we've done what we can for the time being.
Then we should let Isabel know.
You have the town's thanks.
Don't thank us yet. There will be more. Many more. And you'll need to be ready for them.
Oh, we shall. Isn't that right, Captain?
Yes, milady. The garrison will be ready.
Philippe here has convinced most of the men to remain at their posts. For now, at least.
Hearing that the Dame would look kindly on any man who committed himself to the task certainly didn't hurt. It's not the most selfless of motives, I'll admit. But whatever it takes, eh? Now me, I never needed convincing. I became a soldier to protect the people I love. And the people I love include the one standing before me.
Handsome and chivalrous.
Now, if you don't mind, I have sentries to post. Milady.
Lest you wonder, I'm not foolish enough to believe that this has solved all of my problems. But it has solved one, and that's one fewer than I had this morning. Thank you again, Clive.
Sid, your new companion appears much more formidable than your uncle. Should I be worried?
You haven't been introduced.
Jill, Clive has told me much about you.
All lies, I'm sure.
Your Stolas said that Dalimil has a bandit problem.
Indeed. Although, you're a little late. They left with our food and guild days ago.
Any idea where they went?
The desert's a big place. Your guess is as good as mine. But the fact is, I have more immediate concerns.
What did you say to me? What did you say?
Ah, as if by magic. Let's just say we've yet to reach a consensus about how to solve Dalimil's little problem. And at this rate, it won't be the actions of the bandits which prove to be our undoing. It will be our own. I've tried reasoning with the dissenting parties, but even the Desert Hare has limits.
Perhaps we could talk to them.
What makes you think they'll listen to us?
What makes you think they won't?
She makes a fair point, Sid. And you won't have wasted much of your precious time if you fail. They're just across the courtyard.
Suppose we just follow the shouting.
You wouldn't talk like that if it had been your men whose throats were slit. Blood for blood, it's the only way. We hire mercenaries and have them mount the bandits' heads on our walls as a lesson to the rest.
And what happens when those mercenaries are slaughtered like your men? Are you going to hire more? We're better off using that coin to buy food and supplies. If we hire mercenaries, the only thing we're buying is the bandit's ire. And you cannot fill empty bellies with that. Do you hear me?
But what happens when they come back? Maybe it'll be your throat that's slit.
That's enough. Both of you. Any more of this and I'll throw you out myself. Come back when you're ready to talk like adults.
Victor. What's he doing here?
Sid. And Lady Jill. What brings you here?
I was about to ask you the same thing.
Costness is in chaos, and the markets have all but ceased to operate. The Briar's Kiss here in Dalimil is the only place I can reliably obtain supplies. I was here to do just that when Master Lubor told me of his troubles. He thought I might be able to talk some sense into these fools. But if you're here, I suppose his patience must be waning.
Who are those people?
Those were the thorns in Lubor's side. And the reason this place might be headed the same way as Costness. It's these accursed skies. The darkness is enough to drive a man to madness. Or an entire city, for that matter.
We're still working on the skies. But in the meantime, perhaps we can find a solution to Dalimil's problems.
I hope so. For all our sakes.
So, you see my predicament?
What I saw was a room full of people who were angry and afraid. And with good reason by the sound of it. But if left to smolder, that anger and fear could set the entire town alight.
My thoughts exactly. What to do? Both sides wish to protect their homes and livelihoods, if only they could agree on how. But as long as they are divided, we are vulnerable.
And if there's one thing bandits like, it's an easy target.
What would Sid the Outlaw suggest?
Well, if it were my namesake, he'd let them choose for themselves and be on hand to pick up the pieces when it all went wrong.
That sounds like a recipe for disaster.
A recipe for disaster is precisely what it is. But perhaps that realization would be enough to make them question the ingredients. While it's plain neither Conrad nor Natalie will countenance the other's proposal, it may still be possible to make them doubt their own. Before presenting them with a third option.
And that would be?
To pool our resources and save the city ourselves. Why fight each other?
When all that fear and anger can be directed at the bandits.
It appears we have a plan of action. Victor, pay Conrad a visit. See if you can't convince him of his folly. I'll speak with Natalie.
As you wish.
Your faces are not well known in this town. That may prove useful. Don't worry, Victor and I will do most of the talking. You need only play along.
Play along?
What he means to say is yes.
Picture it, Conrad. Your own city guard. With you as captain.
Me? I don't know about that.
Here she is. The Lady of the Spear herself. Conrad, may I introduce you to Jane, commander of the Red Wings, the oldest mercenary guild in the Free Cities.
A pleasure, my lady.
The pleasure is all mine.
As I told you, I summoned the commander here from Canver to inquire about a contract.
Victor says you told him no. That there aren't any men left to hire. Is that true?
True as the crystals cracked. Nobles came and claimed every last one worth his salt. And not just from us Red Wings. You know of the 7 high houses. There must be 2 swords assigned each one. Granted, we have a few boys left. If it's boys you're looking for.
Well, Conrad, are you saying that Dalamil's finest cannot defend this town better than a gaggle of unblooded striplings? That a band of beardless youths could better avenge the deaths of your brave men than you yourselves?
Absolutely not. We'll show those bastards who they're dealing with.
I can't believe that actually worked.
Conrad's not what you called the brightest candle in the crypt. And there's a reason why I had you do the talking and not Sid. Well played, my lady.
Then let us band together and show these brutes that...
My shop.
If I had my pickaxe, I would...
I mean, it may still be possible to buy something, and we may yet be allowed to keep it.
Yes, but...
Ah, here he is now. Natalie, allow me to introduce Lord Underhill of Randalar's prestigious League of Merchants.
Lord Underhill. At your service.
Underhill?
I was just telling the good lady of our conversation, my lord, and how you were lamenting the state of the capital's stores.
Lubor says that not only are the granaries almost empty, but that war and the Blight mean this season's harvest won't be enough to fill them for winter.
Indeed, certainly that is the case. The nobles in the capital are buying up the city's stocks of barley and wine, driving the prices higher than most commoners can afford. It is only a matter of time before the peasants revolt.
It is worse than I thought. If what Lord Underhill says is true, I fear we have little hope of supplementing our stores, meager though they regrettably are. And while I applaud your endeavors to dissuade our more bellicose citizens from seeking vengeance, I sense Conrad is not wrong in his assessment of the bandits' likely return. Which means that now, more than ever, we will need to secure what little we still have. Food, weapons, herbs, everything. If our humble town is to endure not only this hardship, but those that are certain to follow, we must stand united.
All right. If it will help to protect my home, I'll do it. But you needn't have gone through this charade.
Thank you, Clive. Your performance was nothing if not workmanlike.
She saw right through it.
I didn't say it was good, merely that it produced the desired effect. Now, my scouts should be returning shortly. Meet me back at the Briar's Kiss, and we shall see what we face.
I'm not convinced our roles in this ruse were entirely necessary.
I don't know. Conrad seemed quite taken with you.
It appears I have no choice but to do what little I can to defend what little we have. Unnecessary blood spilt. We need a plan.
Mummy, I'm scared.
Oh, I'm ruined.
Good news, Sid. Both Conrad and Natalie have somewhat gracefully accepted their new roles. With time, they may even learn to.
Time no longer appears to be the luxury it was before lunch.
I take it your scouts found the bandits.
Technically, it would be the bandits who found my scouts. It appears they march for Dalimil as we speak. All of them.
You're not serious.
They don't just want food, they want the whole damn town.
I have a favor to ask. I'm told the bandits march in 2 groups, one from the south and one from the desert, in a move doubtless intended to stretch our already gossamer-thin defenses.
Very well. Jill and I will meet those from the desert. But what of the rest?
The rest, my friend, the city shall fight. Together. The stakes, I concede, are high. But if this does not unite Dalimil, nothing will.
That is a lot of faith to put into those who had their hands around each other's throats but a moment ago.
Then it will be for us to see that their hands are kept occupied. And I do mean us.
I thought you might say that.
We'll hold them off for as long as we can.
And we will do the same.
The women folk have come to welcome us.
I'll take that one.
He's all yours.
Not good.
dead yet.
The townspeople. Could they have held out?
I don't hear any fighting. What do you think?
That we should hurry.
Natalie, I owe you an apology. You did well out there. The inn would have been lost had you not held the line.
Without you, there would have been no line to hold. You saved us, Conrad. You saved Dalimil.
We all saved Dalimil.
Conrad seems to have had a change of heart.
I'd say they both have.
I take it from your presence that our visitors from the desert won't be joining us either. Pity.
The plan worked, Sid. Granted, it only took an army of bloodthirsty bandits at our gate.
Calm now, Victor. Why quibble over the details? We are united, and that is all that matters. As for you, Sid, you fight considerably better than you act.
I'll take that as a compliment. Our friends seem to have things under control. For now, at least. Let's go and put Otto's mind at rest.
Did you see that? Tell me you saw that. Was wondering when you turn up. Had owls from all our friends thanking you for your timely intervention. How is it you always manage to arrive at just the right moment?
Luck, I suppose. Any word on the rest of the realm?
Let's see. Storm's still crying out for mother crystals. The nations are still in chaos. And the skies are still the colour of a kick in the kidneys 2 days on. So...
Right.
Clive, we knew this was going to happen. Well, not the bleeding skies part, but you take my point. Now's not the time to second-guess yourself. Now's the time to visit the infirmary. Talia says your brother's awake.
Thank you, Otto.
So it was not Sylvester, but Olivier who served as Ultima's puppet. And when Dion learned of this, he sought to slay the fiend. Only for his father to take the spear that would have freed him. Enough to drive a man to madness.
Small wonder he hasn't stirred. I would be afraid to wake.
Had I but reached out to him sooner, warned him of the threat Ultima posed. But now, both an empire and her prince lie broken.
Joshua, what do you know of Ultima?
very little, I'm afraid. Despite my best efforts. 18 years ago, as I lay buried beneath the rubble of Phoenix Gate, it was not death who came for me, but another. And it was while in my rescuer's care, I first heard of Ultima. I've been chasing his shadow ever since. Ultima is driven by some deep, dark purpose, and for whatever reason, it would seem you are crucial to his designs. He will stop at nothing to have you, even if that means toppling an empire.
But why me? What possible use could I be to such a creature?
That is one of many answers that have eluded me. Yet, I am certain of this. It is not mere chance. You were chosen for a reason. All dominants carry within them the might of an icon. Nigh limitless power that is at once acutely limited. I wield fire, and only fire.
And I only ice. 8 wardens for 8 elements. But you, Clive.
You are different. You're special. Your abilities begin with the flames of Ifrit. But they do not end there. The fact Ifrit can even exist goes against everything we thought we knew of dominance. Perhaps Ultima has been waiting for one such as you, whose potential is truly limitless.
I've encountered that thing several times now. If it or he, as you say, needs me, why hasn't he claimed me as he did the boy?
Were I to hazard a guess, I'd say the two of you are somehow incompatible. His mind not properly attuned to your body.
His mind?
Mind, awareness, spirit, call it what you wish. But I believe Ultima to be an embodiment of the concept. It is why I struggle and fail to contain him here inside me.
I'm sorry. Inside you?
With every setting sun, I feel my strength wane. And though the Phoenix's flames mend the prison I have made for Ultima, they do so at a cost. We must find a means to bring an end to him before I meet my own.
What were you thinking?
It was that or let him take Clive. And I've always had a soft spot for my brother.
But that doesn't mean you should sacrifice yourself to save me.
Joshua.
Clive, it's Gav. There's an army of Akashic at the gates of Canver.
Well, what's the short of it?
I thought Tyre told you. The capital of the Free Cities is under siege by an army of monstrosities. The city guard are doing their best to stem the tide, but numbers ain't on their side.
What of Lord Byron and Mid? Were they able to escape?
No, but they're all right for now. They're hiding with Gav at midship.
We have to get them out of there.
And we shall. Otto, prepare a Stolas. Tell Gav to stay exactly where he is.
Understood.
Vivian, what's the swiftest route to the Free Cities?
That sounds like a question for the map. Look here. This road, through Tabor, should provide the least trouble.
Good.
What a coincidence. Tabor is exactly where I'm bound.
Joshua, bed is where you should be bound.
You don't think I told him the exact same thing?
Were Tyre not such a talented healer, I would surely have been inclined to agree. But, thanks to her ministrations, I feel I may safely rejoin my attendant, who was to wait for me in Tabor if we became separated.
We travel together.
Clive.
If he stays close to me, he'll be fine.
Thank you, brother.
I'll look after him.
I'm just gonna head straight for the next story mission because I can go back and read, like, do all these other things like later, which I'm probably gonna do like right before the end. Because honestly, it's like it's not stuff I need, and it's all optional anyway. It's stuff I've already done, so I'm not gonna worry about it. But yeah, that like last discussion with Joshua and Clive, it's like, yeah, dude, I had to seal him away, or else he would have claimed you. So I guess it was like a lose-lose situation, because it's like at that point, Ultima is too powerful, but then we can't kill him. So it's like the only real course of action was for Joshua to seal him inside himself, which kind of, he even hinted at it. He's like, I can only contain it until my body gives out. So it's like, yeah, which is what happens at the end. So it's like, oh, well. So he didn't have a choice. I mean, not much of a choice. It's like, yeah, lose. So it's like that kind of explains the whole, like, I mean, I kind of wish they would like talk about it more, because it's like you get to the end and it's like, dude, you've had that thing in you the whole time, and like they don't really say anything except for like that one conversation, and it's like, okay, well, like, what's going to happen now? And then you find out, and it's like, oh, well, that happened. Anyway, let's continue. Also, they did like mention the 8 icons, so it's like, I wasn't okay. I'm not gonna say I was obsessed with that, but like I couldn't stop thinking about that the first playthrough. I was like, okay, wait, there's 8 elements. Like, I kept looking at the effing, I kept, like, going back to the ability screen, because I was like, okay, wait, there's 8 elements, that means there's 8 icons, and I kept going back here, and I was like, okay, what's the last one we haven't fought yet? What abilities are we going to get? And I was like, oh, it's got to be Leviathan, and it was effing Odin and Shiva, and I was like, oh, duh, I completely forgot, because, like, Jill didn't give up her powers until, like, way later. And then, obviously, Odin is, Barnabas. So it's like, okay. But then, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, there's two fire ones throws it off. Because it's like, it's 2 for fire. That's wind, thunder, lightning, earth. Whatever. Oh, yeah, light. It's like whatever Bahamut is. Ice and dark, which is 8. But it leaves out water, which is Leviathan. But then they kind of just like, there's just that like throwaway thing that like Joshua says at one time, he's like the lost Leviathan or whatever, but they never really explain the whole thing. But I imagine it has to tie into the whole mother crystals of the before time, or not the before time, but like the northern realms, that had like it's whatever, it's somewhere in there. I keep saying northern realms, or whatever, the northern continent or whatever. It's like the, if you look, if I go to the tome, dude, it'll be in there. There's like 2 mother crystals, I think. One was like the northern place, and it at some point disappeared. There's like some other one, I think. So there's at least like 2 that previously existed and then did not. Anyway, we got Joshua in our party, I believe, don't we? Yeah. Nice 4-person party going on. Oh, 3 people in Torgal, but whatever. Still not max level Torgal, but whatever, no big, or not max level, but like, the last little thingy, the last sliver, still missing, but we're at like, 4-character party, which is nice. And wait, hold up. Okay, see, it's so weird. On this screen, it only has your saves, but then like on the load screen, it has like all the auto saves, and it just throws me off every time I do that. And I'm like, wait, crap, my second save. Anyway. Next, this is the save I made, so I can go back and do all the side quests. This is the one I have for this one, so I can just plow through the main story. Because I'm like, dude, I'm done. I'm not doing any more side quests for this playthrough. A New Game Plus, I'm just gonna go straight for the main story quests and just get this effing done. But yeah, I think Okay, so before I get to effing Barnabas's horse, or Odin's horse, I kind of want to put my abilities back the way they were, but then I kind of don't. I just want to see if I have that on, if I'm doing like more damage on the stagger. Because I felt like I felt first playthrough, like the stagger damage I had for effing, whatchamacallit, you know? I felt like it was, for whatchamacallit. The stagger damage I had for, oh, that looks useful. Crit ball of lightning. Anyway, the stagger damage I had last first playthrough, I felt like was more than I have this playthrough, even though I've got like the more powerful abilities on. So I kind of want to try that with this, but like effing, I don't know. Cause I kind of don't remember what I had as far as like I know I had Phoenix, Garuda, and Odin, or I'm sorry, Ramu. But then I don't remember like exactly what I had on them as far as like the connecting abilities. I think it was just the basic stuff like Power Drive and Thunderstorm. Yeah. All right. So I think yeah. So I kind of want to go back to that real quick, and then like see if I'm doing more damage consistently on that stuff. But then yeah, and then I'll switch it back once I get to the effing like boss fight. Because it's like, dude, ultimately it's like, if I'm doing more damage, like why would I not just keep using the same abilities, right? So we do that real quick. Also, Flames of Rebirth. I don't really feel like I'm getting a lot of health back. That might just be me, but I don't feel like it, man. Like Rising Flames and Sky Cyclone. Like I have like health missing. I do the ability and then it's flipping. Like I don't really feel like there's a lot of health refilling in on like the health bar, but whatever. That could just be, you know, imagining things or something. Gouge. And then like, oh, if you're thinking, oh, Tekken, you're so derpy, how are you going to remember what abilities you have if you never remember? It's like, I'll remember. I'll remember, okay? Power Drive and Thunderstorm. But yeah, I just want to have these ones. Like all the core abilities here. I should probably learn these ones, honestly, but then I never equip them, so it's whatever, right? Well, that's the thing, right? It's like, you know what? Well, that's the thing, right? I don't have these. I have that one, and then I've got the staggers. Wasn't it this? What crap? I don't remember that. I remember now. I remember actually. Okay, so I had like, because this one was Bahamut, which was effing. Wait, no, this was Odin with Giga Flare and Titan, but then I think Titan was first, right? Because it was in order of like how I unlocked them. So it's the Titan ability, Bahamut ability. And then these two are always on here, Phoenix and Garuda. So it was the effing Tornado, Diamond Dust, and then what's the effing Judgment Bolt? So Judgment Bolt will be here, and then I think I'm just gonna put something else here instead of the Healing Flames, because it doesn't really seem like it's really that great. So I might just use this time to, yeah. I'll use this time to, I can't think of the word. There's a word for that, but I can't think of the word. But, you know, as I'm playing through with this current setup, I'll, you know, see how these attacks are doing. And whichever one I think is, like, you know, deserving. Go in the slot where Phoenix Flames was at, because it wasn't doing that. I mean, it does good damage as far as, like, when you're, like, you know, attacking a group of enemies, because it has, like, that initial, like, AoE. But then it just, like, keeps going, and it just, like, does a ton of damage. So I might put it back on, actually, so. But I'm going to, there's a word I can't think of when you're something these abilities. Yeah. Maybe it'll come to me, but, like, yeah, anyway. I'm gonna look over these abilities, or, Gosh, I'm trying to think of the word right now, and it's just not coming to me, but yeah. Something, these abilities.
It's a dangerous world out there.
And then effing, yeah.
You're rubbing me blind, you know.
That's how I'll pick this stuff. Okay. Let's see if we can get anything crafted real quick. I mean, that's the only downside is, like, I don't have the crafting materials, but it's like, dude, whatever at this point. Like, I'm over it. Like, you don't... I don't even feel like it's, like, you know... Like, I'm not even, like, feeling the flipping, you know... extra damage on this stuff unless, like, I don't feel it. But then it's, like, yeah, man, the problem with that is, like... You know, it's like effing... Like, there's no point where I'm, like, feeling like, oh, man, I don't feel like I'm doing a lot of damage. So it's like I don't actually feel like I'm not, you know, underpowered or I'm not at levels or, like, you know, I don't feel like my attacks are, like, completely useless. So it's like there's no point, I feel like, to mess with the, you know, the crap. Like, yeah. Anyway. Let's continue. Evaluate. I will evaluate these abilities I have on right now, and then I will pick the one that is effing, I feel like, the most useful. Anyway, let's move on with the main story. On our road to Canver, where things start to finally pick up after a long lull, because, dude, effing has, like, a flippin', like, dead zone in this game where, like, just stuff falls off before it picks back up. But yeah, no, it's going to start to pick back up and then just, like, not let up until the end, so finally. Because, dude, that entire last section of, like, once Mid shows up to, like, that last section of, like, the Akashic monsters, because it's 3 of the same thing. Like, you just go to the 3 areas, and it's all like, oh, man, let's have a minor dispute, and then, oh, Akashic monsters are attacking. Clive, save us. It's like, dude, I did this, like, 3 times in a row. Like, they couldn't have had any variety on that? Whatever. Anyway. Let's continue. I'm going to turn my mute on, and hopefully we can just knock this out and be done by 9 a.m. And I totally just loaded into the wrong area. That was funny. Actually, now that I think about it, well, I'll shut up, because they're probably about to say something.
It's like a dream. The 4 of us out walking like we used to.
Enjoying this, are you? Gav and the others could be in danger as we speak.
You're right. I'm sorry. Yote is a fine scout. If Canva was attacked, she will already have begun gathering information.
Tabor isn't far. We should pick up the pace.
Yeah, I was going to say, there's a part, I don't know when, but you unlock a side quest for, like, I don't know about Torgal, but for sure Clive, or Joshua and Jill, where the reward is that they stay in your party for the rest of the game. And it's like, I don't know when you actually get that, because I skipped over the first playthrough as far as, like, I did the same thing, didn't I? Well, I didn't do the same thing, but, like, there's a point, I didn't do the same thing. Okay, let me go to my map real quick. Because when you're getting the missives, right, like, I wasn't messing with this stuff. Like, I would just leave it until, like, the end of, like, the current side quest, you know, chain that I'd unlocked. And so I didn't know that when I did those, or I didn't, like, I basically had them at the bottom of the pile, or the bottom of the stack of, like, what I was playing through. And so because I did these last, I got those last, and I was like, oh, I should have did those first. So this time I'm going to do these first when I get, well, it doesn't matter now, but when I do come back around to, like, doing the rest of the side quests, I'm going to do all the stuff that's on this stack first, and then the rest of the ones in the world. Because there's that one, or the ones that have, you know, these two with you for the rest, for like the duration, which is like quite useful at the end, because otherwise it's just Clive and Torgal, and it's like, I mean, as far as like, you know, like a helper in battle, like, you know, it's also kind of just like, you know, Clive and Torgal just hanging out, so kind of kills the vibe of the party. It's just two characters. I mean, I did like that aspect as far as like, you know, like a hero and his horse, or a hero in this case, a hero and his dog companion, but it's like not the same when it's like, you know, you're missing all the characters in your party. Well, that's another thing about 16 in my opinion, is like the party aspect is kind of definitely reduced, where it's like, you know, other games. Well, I didn't play 15. 15 is different in that regard, because there's like, what, the 4 of them or whatever, or 5, I don't know. Anyway, this one felt like it would definitely reduce the whatever of the party, because it's like, dude, the party's always like, you know, the focus of like the team and stuff, but then this one's like not so much. There's so many sections where it's just Clive and Torgal, or it's just Clive, and it just felt like it was not as, or diminished compared to previous entries. Then I also just thought about Torgal after I finished the game, and I was like, dude, if Torgal was a chocobo, he would be like the top tier chocobo of all time now. But like they made him a wolf, so it's not the same. It's like point 1 that, point 2, like probably like biggest or most effing like carrying of like, or shouldering the burden on the main cast of a pet NPC teammate, like that I can think of, at least in the mainline Final Fantasy series, because it's like, dude, it's like you're an effing wolf and you're like the main companion for the most part, with like everybody else is like off doing whatever, or like you're there like 90% of the time when like other people like leave the party, come back, leave the party, come back. It's like Torgal is like the mainstay, and it's just like, that was hilarious to me. I was like, dude, what other? I was like, definitely no other entries in the series do that, as far as like teaming with like a chocobo or a wolf. I mean, you can have a chocobo with you in Tactics, but Tactics is a side game. So I'm thinking about like you know, the main series, the mainline series, and then like FA, and I was like, well, there's a bunch of JRPGs I haven't played, but I'm sure that. Well, hold on, dude. There is effing my brain just bleeped out, but kind of sort of Grandia too, if you think about the owl, or not the owl, the falcon, or his bird companion, but that he's not really in the party. But there is like, I feel like there's a game I'm like blanking on, you know, where you have like an animal or pet companion that's with you the whole time. And there's a bunch of Tales games I haven't played, and there's like a Tales entry that has that, but I'm not sure if that's the same. Anywho, I'm gonna mute myself and stop jumping in here with like random nonsense. Let's knock this game out. Let me just shut up and play and get through it, right? Let's go and kill Barnabas's second in command. Go and kill Barnabas. Go and destroy that last Mother Crystal. Then go and kill Ultima. I think that's the order. But at some point, Jill gets, you know, I think we're about to get to the part where like we're at the boat, right? And then Jill gets taken away. We get to save Jill, and then we get to go do all that fun stuff and go get, you know, go dispense justice and wow, I can't even think of the word, but like, you know, yeah, we will smite the foes of evil. I'm sorry, smite the foes of good. That was backwards. With our paragonal sort of justice and whatnot. All right, I'm going to mute myself and continue. Let's go.
We can use the ruins to cross the ravine.
Assuming they would allow it. The Echoes have a will of their own.
This one.
Okay, that's going to be a super duper pet peeve of mine in this game. Is like there's like invisible walls as far as like the combat area, but you can't always see them. Like usually it's like a red line on the ground, but like you don't always see them. Like that time, the bomb just went outside of it and like came back with full health, and it's like, dude, like, come on, man. Like, I mean, I was killing it, and it's like, oh, it's back to full health after leaving the combat area, and it's just like, dude, the stuff like that. Just there's just a lot of like minor quirks in this game that really irk me. So it's like I could easily, if I was giving this, I don't believe in review scores, but if I gave this game a game one, it would be easily a 9 because there's so much effing stuff that gets under my skin in it, and it's like I feel like it's, you know, at the must play level because it is just like such a visual like showpiece and just like the icon fights, but it's like, dude, there's so much in this game that just irks me when I play it, and it's just like I could not in good faith give it a effing 10. But a 9, yeah. Yeah, even with the issues with the dodging that I have, just whatever, man. I'm hitting R1. It's like it's never the right time. It's never the right timing. Like even if I'm mashing the button, it's like I still get hit. Yeah, let's look at the damage this time. Hopefully it's like 70,000 or something, because I feel like effing my old loadout or whatever, it was just like not. Oh, okay, it is trash damage. That sucks. That's unfortunate. It's like 30,000, man. That's bad. I'll switch it back to the way it was just when I get to Canver. Because it's like, I feel like with the old loadout, it does like 60,000 easy. Like, I think that might be because of the Odin thing, but I don't know. It just seems like, for sure, it's always doing more damage. Or not more, but like... just that like one stagger with a full limit break is not good damage. So it's like, dude, you know, was that full limit break? I don't know, was it? Is it full limit break on that one? Because I feel like it was maybe not, but it probably was. But then, dude, like, what, 30,000? It's like, I feel like I get 60,000 easy with just the Odin ability, but yeah. And that's not even like a level 5 Zotosuken,
Tell
so
us
it's
about
like,
Yote,
yeah.
Joshua.
She's strong-willed, loyal, and deadly with a blade. Much like Clive, but with better manners.
Also, yeah, dude, I was like kind of hoping like the entire time after we met Yote that she'd like do something like badass and awesome, but she doesn't. I was like expecting it at every moment. I was like, all right, now we're gonna see what Joshua's bodyguard has been like holding back this entire time when she just lets loose and just kills a bunch of bad guys or something, and like it never happens. And I'm like, oh, that's a bummer. It's like, oh, come on. Come on.
Over here.
It's like, nope, not happening. Okay. Is that dead chocobo? Dead chocobo.
Hey, do. Where are you off to now, then? Bound for the Free Cities, perhaps? Oh, no need to say if you'd rather not. We all have our reasons. Ain't exactly feeling like sharing with strangers myself at the mo. Truth be told, we could do with a bit of inspiration. Don't know which way to turn no more. Was doing a roaring trade back in Oriflam. Right up until the poor Drake lost her noggin. So, thought I'd try me luck in the desert. And the Fang went the same way. Don't get me started on the mess in the bloomin' Dominion. Suppose I could try Canberra next. But knowing my luck, the old place be crawling with the works before I'd even sight me store. As I always say, where there's crisis, there's opportunity. The opportunity to mint Gil, that is. So, where to next? Is there any money to be made in Ash? Do orcs even carry Gil?
So yeah, traveling merchant. I'm kind of curious if this is like an NPC you see in other places, because I don't remember or recognize him. But he has this whole spiel about all the places he's been to up to this point, and then like, trying to make Gil, but yeah. Oh, I think this next one we have to. Well, we don't have to do, but I think it's like one of those save me, I'm dying. So I guess I'll do it, right? Yeah. Looks like this is the one where we fight a bunch of Akashic too. Well, not. Whatever. It's like right over here. You can see there's a flippin', you know, cloud. Oh, I remember this one, because this is the one where like you kill all the Akashic, and then like the person you save is like, oh, you're Sid. You killed all my comrades and whatever the F.
Ether flood.
Ether flood.
Up ahead.
But then that's the thing, it's like there's no follow-up on this one, dude. So it's like, oh, come on. Like, the guy says, I'll get my revenge. He doesn't. And it's just like, whatever, man.
Tanned.
Disappointing.
Every last one of... There's a village not far from here. Tabor. The people were kind to us. It's only a matter of time before they won't stand a chance. We can't let those monsters reach the...
I'll go. You catch your breath.
Thank you. Our encampment is up ahead. Just off the track. They must not reach Tabor. Forgive me, Lord Kuka.
So it's like, you know, forgive me, Lord Kuka. Then like
well,
he
soldier.
end up saving like the one dude, and he's like, you killed all my friends when you, whatever, killed her. You took down the crystal or something happened or some. It's like to some effect of like Clive did something to wrong him. He's like, I don't want your help. I don't want you to save me.
You said the encampment was close. Let's hope the Akashic is still there.
But yeah, I'm curious, like, if I leave this dude, like, does he die, or does, like, can I just, like, pick it up later? Because I feel like those are mortal wounds where it's like you're not gonna be around much longer if I just leave you by the side of the road. So, in my brain, it's like, yeah, it's like I can't just like let it go. Be like, whatever, video games, I'll just come back later. It's like, dude, he's like dying.
Then we'll just have to be careful.
That's too much of like a telltale Bioware influence of like, nah, dude, you gotta like do this now. There's gonna be consequences if you don't do this. But then it's like, I'm sure that's not the case. I can just leave it and like come back whenever. It'll be fine.
Good. Got here in time. This one. This one.
Actually, I did mention the thing, right, where like there's a red line on the ground, by the way. But like, I mentioned the thing where like you get the quest for like Joshua and Jill to like stay with you. So I think I'll go back like before I go to this village, just to make sure I didn't skip over it, and like, if I have access to it now, just to like do it, and then I can not have to worry about it later. But I don't think you get it until like the final part, but I don't know, since I kept not doing those, so we'll see. It's like I doubt those side quests where it's like they stay with you for the rest of the game are available until like either the last part or the very last part, so we'll see.
Someone there! Please, I can't move my leg!
That doesn't sound like an Akashic.
Will Clive do Akashic talk?
You're with the battalion?
I am. I heard the fighting. Are the others?
Yeah, this one's kind of annoying because he's like, I'll get my revenge on you, but he never
One of your brothers in arms
comes
told
back.
me what happened and asked for help.
Another survivor. Where is he? Tell me.
His wounds were too deep.
He was right to send you. Those things you slew are no longer my brothers. Tabor is safe thanks to you. Here, you've earned it. You seem familiar. Have we met?
You must have me confused with someone else.
That sword, that armor, that scar. I knew it was something he'd like remember.
That scar.
That scar.
Son of a whore. You're Sid. I was there, in Cosnis, when you killed my brothers. I was there in Rosalith, when you killed my commander.
My war with Hugo Kupka is over. I bear no ill will toward those who followed him.
And what of my ill will? Coward! Draw your steel. Lord Kupka shall be avenged!
I do like the structure of the side quest though, as far as like, you're going through the game and like you're killing all these people, right? And it's like, seemingly without consequence. Up to this point where it's like this dude's like, oh wait a minute, you effing wronged me back in XYZ, now I'm gonna have my revenge. And it's like, oh. So it's like I did enjoy that part. Or not that part, but like that aspect of it, right? Because like so many games you just like kill just endless seas of people with like no consequence, and it's like, ugh, that's not realistic at all. So anyway, like last time I was like, fine if you insist, but like I think it's like this is another false choice where it doesn't matter. Like he's not gonna fight you because he can't. He has no energy. He's basically just barely able to stand up.
When your wounds have healed and your head has cooled, come and find me if you must. Though I hazard your life would be better spent in service of those who need it. Or have you forgotten your oath to the Republic?
My oath? What would you know of oaths?
I know how hard they are to keep. Which is why I'm giving you the chance to keep yours.
No. I won't be deceived. Lord Kupka told us of your crimes. You are an outlaw. A murderer, not some...
Man. Like you or anyone else.
I am nothing like you. But if you're not gonna kill me, then go. Leave! Just know that I will find you, Sid. Someday.
He doesn't find you someday. Yeah, that was one of the side quests that like doesn't get a part 2 or part, you know, whatever continuation, and I was like, oh, I was looking forward to that. I mean, obviously it's going to end with Sid killing him. I mean, Clive. Speaking of, it's like I enjoyed the amount of pseudonyms that you get in this game. It's like, oh, I'm Wyvern, I'm Sid, I'm Ifrit, I'm what does F in Ultima call him? Whatchamacallit? Doesn't call him whatchamacallit. Calls him I can't even think. It's like a non-English word, but yeah, that. And that name he has when he's here, when he's going to talk to that hare in the desert, and he takes that other pseudonym of like, I am Sir Clivingstone the Third. I don't remember what it is, but yeah, I thought that was neat, because that's not usually the case with a lot of games. It's like you don't get like to take a pseudonym or false identity. So I thought that's a cool little aspect, I guess. But like in this universe specifically, from Clive's perspective, it makes sense like why you would do that, because he is like of House Rosalith anyway, so he's like of like, you know, super highborn nobility. But then he's also like, you know, when he becomes Sid, he's like, you know, outlaw that's wanted across the entire realm. So he has like a reason to keep this identity a secret or close to the chest. So I just thought that was a neat little touch. I enjoyed that aspect. This is so weird, dude. I so rarely like when I'm playing something to talk about stuff like this while I'm playing it.
Have you been to Tabor before?
There are a few places I haven't.
Like I don't really give like meaningful commentary. I usually just like, well, that's the thing, right? It's like usually it's like, I'm either like not commentating at all, or I'm just like, I hate Destiny so much, why do I play this stupid game, right? So it's just, maybe I should try this more often. I don't know. I guess I'll see what the metrics are, or the performances on YouTube when I finally put these up. Or people are just like, yeah, shut up and play. Nobody wants to hear you.
Where now, Joshua?
There is a residence just inside the city gates. She awaits us within.
Or in the olden times when I had a podcast, I would just think about these things, and then I would talk about them on my podcast, and sometimes I would write them down and stuff.
Well, this isn't at all foreboding.
But yeah, after Ultimate cast the spell, the little obelisks started doing that. But then you find out after he talks about his ether spell, why that is. But yeah, now we get to talk. See, this part is like one of the parts where it gets so good. Like you finally learn out about the Undying and everything, and it's like, dude, the fact that you don't learn about this until like the I'd say third act, or like third act towards the end, right? It's pretty crazy. But the amount of like secret society stuff in this game is quite absurd after you find out about it. like it's absurd that like you didn't. I mean, it's kind of neat in that respect, right? Because it is like, oh, I had no idea, but then it's like, oh, they got me. I had no idea there was like some secret sect of effing, Rosalinians helping the Phoenix, or like effing the executives towards the end. They're like, we guide society from the shadows by holding back information or whatever. It's like, oh, it kind of works because I had no idea. Literal secret society.
My Lord Marquis, it is an honor. I am Yote, Knight of the Undying, charged with the protection of His Grace Joshua Rosfield, Keeper of the Flame of the Phoenix.
Of course. It all makes sense now.
Yeah, you can get this exposition, and it's
Would
like,
you care
oh,
to elaborate?
thanks for telling me that, Clive. I had no idea.
The Undying are loyal servants to the ducal throne. Or more specifically, to its heir. They have served our family for generations, albeit from the shadows.
From the shadows.
Since their inception, they have been tasked with the preservation and enactment of the rites of ancestral communion. After the events at Phoenix Gate, it was the Undying who delivered me to safety. And since the day I left Rosaria, Yote has been my constant companion and protector. Without her sword, I would not have survived my journey across the realm.
Rise, Lady Yote. You saved my brother. I owe you a debt I can never repay.
I but did my duty.
Come now. Tell us what you've discovered.
Your Grace. It is as you feared. The vessel we spied off the coast of the Crystalline Dominion on the night of her fall. It was the Einherjar. Beyond any doubt.
The Black Galleon.
Joshua, the Einherjar is the Royalists' flagship. What business would they have in the Dominion?
Upon learning of Waloed's involvement in recent events at Drake's Fang, I sensed the malign influence of Ultima, and bid Yote and the Undying look into the matter.
We have reason to believe that the Black Galleon weighed anchor shortly after the fighting began, and set a course due south.
For Canva. Then it is Waloed knights who besiege the cities.
What is left of them? Yes. And the Black Galleon sails at but one man's behest. Barnabas Tharm.
But are we truly safe here in the Agora?
The city guard have been paid, if that's what you're implying.
All the more reason for them to run.
Well, you are free to leave, Lord Minister.
Markets abandoned, warehouses aflame, blackened hulls choking every port in the capital. Canva is ruined.
The realm teeters on the brink of chaos, and all you can think about is commerce!
Forgive us. We were not aware Dhalmekia now subsisted on charity.
How dare you?
Distinguished members of the Council, you must forgive His Majesty this intrusion.
What is the meaning of this?
A trifle crowded, but I fear it will have to serve, my liege.
Very well.
My colleagues, do you not see? The king! He has come to save us from the Akashic! He is a gift from the heavens, divine intervention, our very salvation.
And of course, if it is compensation he requires, we would be most willing to negotiate a fair price for services rendered.
Fools.
Your ignorance unbecomes you.
Your Majesty, correct me if I'm wrong, but I would swear that the fiends washing the cobbles of Canva with the blood of her citizens wear the colors of Waloed. Ha! So you do not deny it. Guards, fetter them, and see our guests to the dungeons!
Enough. Pathetic creatures. That you should imagine yourselves worthy of salvation. The girl is still here, somewhere in the city. Her consciousness fair dripping with her late father's hubris. A consciousness to which Mythos is inextricably bound and inexorably drawn. See that he is made welcome.
Yes, Your Majesty.
Come, Mythos. Surely the prince's light cannot have sated you.
So then, how long has Waloed been under Ultima's control?
How long indeed? Based on what we know of Barnabas's actions, I would guess some few years, mayhap more.
But to what end? What does Ultima want?
The tapestry. Show them.
And then we finally get to see the tapestry, but I think it's still incomplete when we see it here. Or like we still like don't know everything about it. It's still like a partial image. But they finally explain the whole, like, you know, what that's going on with it.
By the flames.
Phoenix Gate, Drake's Breath, and now here. But what is it?
It is old, ancient even. Naught remains of the faith it represents, save what can be gleaned from the image itself. None could tell me what the one in the apothecary meant, even the Undying. But I believe it may be the key to discerning Ultima's purpose. That figure in the center, the one beneath whom the icons congregate, that I believe to be Ultima. He is a god, or at least godlike, his very existence beyond our ken. The icons, and by extension their dominants, are meant to be his subjects, and while some, like Barnabas, have accepted this role, others have rejected it, like you, Clive, which is rather inconvenient, as it appears he needs you most of all. And gods don't like to be disobeyed.
No, I don't suppose they do.
Clive, may I tell Yote of the lake?
By all means.
Yote, I will be accompanying my brother to the Free Cities. Whilst we are afield, I would have you watch over those Clive has made his wards. Umielos delan tuisag ilith. Though well concealed, the hideaway lacks trained fighters to defend its occupants should they be discovered.
But it is my duty to...
As it has ever been my brother's duty, remember.
If that is your wish, Your Grace. But please be safe. If aught were to befall you,
You have my word.
Farewell, my lord, my lady.
We are in your debt, Yode.
Let's find our friends.
It's also kind of interesting because like, you would think, you know, why not add Yoti to the party? But then if you think about it, you know, all three of them are dominants, so they can actually like, you know, prime or semi-prime. So it's like it's not to say that they don't need the help, but it's like, you know, going from power levels.
It's plain she cares for you very deeply.
And I her, which is why I had to let her go.
Just going off of like power level, like, you know, and like abilities. It's like she could easily get into a point where she's in over her head, because even like, you know, the effing ether clouds, right? Like she could get Akashic poisoning or whatever, turn, etc., etc. So it's like, sorry, Yote, gotta go back to the hideaway, and it's like, oh come on, it's such a cool character. Or not? I like, yeah, I kind of feel like the Boba Fett of this game, like, doesn't do much, but like, you know, the presence is felt every time they're there. Especially like the more you learn about them, and like it's like, oh crap, she saved John. Oh, I don't know if she was there when crap, he just said that, didn't he? No, he said the Undying were there when he was rescued, because I feel like he and her are like close in age, and then it's like that would be kind of silly if like yeah, but they did just like hint that like, you know, there's kind of a love interest there. He's like, oh, I care about her so much she cares about me, and it's like, oh okay, and then effing, I guess she's been, you know, his bodyguard / guardian / whatever for like all these years, so it makes sense that they would have like had a bond going on. Alright, one more orchestration I did not have before. Shoulders of Giants.
A fine choice.
Fine choice. But yeah, dude, I thought
Anything else?
Like that scene is okay. That scene is really good just because like you have like that part where they go to the oligarchs, bureaucrats, whatever in Canberra, they get slaughtered. But like that scene when like Barnabas just like one shots them, that was dope. Like just because it's like it shows how powerful he is. Like it does like multiple things, right? Because like you have that one dude, he's like, he's here to save us. We're saved. It's an act of God, and it's like, a bit too premature on the celebration there, buddy. And then like they call the guards in, and Barnabas is just like enough, and just like whoosh, just kills them all like one effing like stroke, dude. I thought that was like so good. And it's like, you know, they keep saying about like, you know, his blood cuts through everything, blah blah blah, his sword's so powerful, blah blah blah. But then you actually see it, and it's like, oh damn, he just killed like a room of people in like one attack. That was pretty awesome. And it's like, oh, I had to fight this guy at some point. I hope I've got enough whatever to get it done, because oh my gosh, he killed like at least a dozen people, and like bam,
come again,
bam splat, like not even fully primed. And then like after you get the ability, you're like, ooh, I got the thingy, I got the Gunganir and whatever they have, or at least like a sliver of it. So like when you're doing that's why I really like having that ability on, because like, you know, it's like it may not be like 100% damage potential, whatever the F, but like, you know, it's like, yeah, I got some of that Barnabas stuff going on too. Before I continue, let me go back, because I want to see something as far as like those missives. I want to see if I've got any abilities. If I've got any of those side quests that'll like give me like or like permanent whatchamacallits. Gosh, permanent unlocks. I'm sorry, my brain. It just does things sometimes. My brain's always on autopilot because I have no self-control. Anyway, specifically just like the ones where like they stay with you forever, but I don't think they're in here yet. Okay, there's just the one humble request. Yeah, I don't think that's it. Oh, where's the rest? Martha. Flames burn bright. The ward from Northreach. But yeah, it's kind of annoying because you have to go back to these places, right? Like after this part where you like dealt with the Akashic, and it's just like, ugh. I think it's a side quest though. I don't think it's in the main quest, but it might be. So it's just like the fact that there's like multiple parts to those. It's just like, dude. I mean, it's fine if it's a side quest, but I can't remember right now. So it's like, eh. Dramatis Personae. A humble request. Master Clive. Seek immediate aid. Blah, 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 blah. I mean, I guess I'll do this right now. Because I kind of don't want to leave it undone. I mean, I could put not yet, you know, but... I feel like this one I have to go to, like, multiple locations. It's whatever, dude. Once I'm on that boat to flippin'...
Wasn't that the name of my uncle's manservant?
Or not to,
Why
but
would he
from
be at Martha's
Canver.
Rest?
I'm just gonna not worry about any of this stuff. Am I getting renown from stuff? I feel like I didn't notice before, but I guess you do get renown from like a lot of the smaller encounters or whatever. Let me see if I've got all the... I think I need like one more orchestration roll. So almost all of them? See, 1, 2... Okay, missing 2. Nice. I imagine there's a trophy for it. I'm curious if you get a like unlock or something from it, but I'm annoyed because like on the memory wall, like there's one thing I didn't have on the first playthrough, so I'm not even sure like what it is that I'm missing or how to get it. And I killed all the notorious monsters, so it's like I don't know, man.
How may I help you today, Clive?
Maybe we'll see if I get
Come
it
to
this
claim
time.
your just desserts?
No risk, no reward. Man, yeah.
All done?
Yeah, not doing the side quest means I'm not going to get the Genji gloves anytime soon anyway. So I'll have to do that off stream some other time. Alright. Smooth like butler. I feel like this is the one where you go get the helpers of your uncle. It's funny because I didn't read the text when I like opened it. I was just like, I guess I'll go and do it. And there's like 2 other deeds you have to get, but it's not that bad. It's not as bad as the Akashic main quest where it's like, go help these people 3 times over. Martha, oh, he's upstairs tonight. I'm like, where's he at?
My lord Marcus, it is you. Then you received my letter. I am Sebastian.
Oh, also,
Rutherford,
I'll talk about that
chief
after this.
steward of your
I don't want to talk about it again.
uncle's estate.
Of course. We met once before.
Yes, my lord. Thank you for coming.
And what was so sensitive that you couldn't put it in writing?
1,000 apologies, my lord. I
1,000
did
apologies,
not
my
mean to
lord.
offend. I merely...
It's all right. Continue.
I am here at Martha's Rest, at the behest of your lord uncle, tasked with learning what I am able of the realm's current state of affairs. And what I have learned is grim. The fall of the Mother Crystals has left Storm in a state of utter disarray. The subsequent darkening of the heavens has only made things worse. Akashic attacks, once unthinkable, are now commonplace. The gears of governance have ground to a halt, and without a steady hand on the tiller, the realm threatens to drift into utter chaos. Your lord uncle, however, believes there is a way to avoid this fate, and is determined to see it set in motion.
That sounds like quite the undertaking.
It is. Hence my having enlisted the aid of several colleagues serving the 7 high houses. Alas...
Alas.
I have lost contact with 2 of those colleagues already. They are both able-bodied and trained in the sword, yet in these dark times, even that may not prove sufficient to keep a man safe on the road.
So you want me to find them? I'll need to know where they went.
One I sent to investigate the Republic. The other, the old Imperial capital of Oriflamme.
That doesn't exactly narrow it down. I suppose I'll start in Dalamil and work my way east.
Thank you, my lord. I shall pray for your success and safety.
But yeah, I was gonna say, I don't know if I mentioned it before, but the part where Joshua explains the mural, right? But it's a false conclusion because you learn later on like what it actually is, and it's not Ultima, and it's like what? And it's just that was pretty good actually, because that sets up a later plot twist of like, oh damn, like that's what the mural is, and it's like yeah, and it's like oh man, that was first playthrough. It's like but then it's like yeah, they're just planting a seed, so it's like yeah, that's really good. That's really good. Looking at a meme someone posted, but yeah, that was really good. But then it's kind of interesting because you actually get that intel from Ultima himself or themselves or whenever Ultima is when they are like, hey, guess what? This is what's going down with the whole primal. I said it again. Icon mural. I keep saying primal. I'm sorry. I have 14 on the brain when I play this because I'm just like, yeah, P and team did awesome. Alright, Dalamil. Smooth like butter. It's already effing almost 1 AM, dude. Jeez. Yep.
It's not going to be easy finding one man in an entire republic. Let's hope someone here's seen something.
Mummy.
Oh, I did say I was going to change my attack spec, didn't I? Yeah, I did do that. Let me do that real quick, because those effing stagger damage numbers were not good. Okay, I believe this goes to be Odin. And then we've got the stagger abilities of... You know, it might have been Diamond Dust and then the Tornado Thingy, but I'll put Tornado Thingy and then Diamond Dust. Not like it matters, they're on separate cooldowns anyway. And then this is... Oh! Did it save it? That's cool. Because, yeah, it was Odin and then Giga Flare and then Earth and Fury. I'm going to change it around, though, to be Earth and Fury and then Giga Flare in order of, like, you unlocking them. That's the whole theme here. The order that you unlock them in. And then this one's effing Judgment Bolt. Boom. And then effing... I don't know, man. I feel like I should put out an ability here, because honestly, like, effing... Flames Rebirth? Like, I feel like I don't need the health back, that's the thing, so it's like, in that regard, I don't really feel... But then, since this stuff isn't on the Odin tree, I don't... Does it build your meter still? Let me see. I'll put on... I mean, yeah, I know I've said this one's kind of a high-risk, high-reward, but it's like, if it builds meter, that's all that matters, because that Xanasuke level 5 is... Oof, so good. And I miss having it. Or getting it, at least, consistently. Or somewhat consistently. Wait, did the courtesan just say that? She did. Wow. Okay. Also kind of weird where it's like, there's for sure that brothel in that one spot, but then they only have like, they don't actually have like the location here, just like the courtesans themselves, but then like, that's the NPC name. But then they have them at that other spot too. It says courtesans, but then there are courtesans here, but it doesn't like actually imply or explicitly state that there's a brothel in Dalmekia, which is a whole thing, but whatever. But then you hear the dialogue and you're like, oh, these are the same character types from the other location. They just aren't called the same thing. Or not called the same thing, they just don't lean into it in this spot like they do the other one that actually has like a
got himself in trouble.
Brothel with a name and whatnot. Well, yeah, they even like
I
have the
don't see your
whole
master
scene where they sneak in
so
by
you can
waiting
start
there,
by
right?
giving us all the coppers in your purse.
I already told you, I have nothing.
Then maybe we'll take that pretty outfit and the steel you're wearing.
I'm kind of curious if you do any of the side quests, like, does it affect anything in the main storyline in this game?
These men are trying to rob me.
Because there's some of the stuff that, like, seems like it would directly
Thank you.
affect some of the major plot
Are you
lines.
that one's master, then?
But probably not.
If you kindly pay the coin he owes us, we can pretend you didn't draw your blade on Republican soldiers.
Or you can go back to your garrison and I won't report you to your captain.
Oh, you're more than welcome to.
I guess that answers the whole...
Many visitors since we slit his throat.
Which faction has the Republican soldiers or whatever? And it's the effing, Demacia. So earlier on when they say soldiers of the Republic, or Republican soldiers or whatever the F, they mean the effing, Demacian faction. Oh, nice. Alright, I'll leave it like that.
You're finished.
Because, yeah, that way I can, like, get the meter up outside of the, outside of being in the Odin, skill slot. Whatever the F, so yeah, works out. Because dancing still feels it the fastest. I mean, the other skills are either, like, flashy or, like, you know, cool looking, but that one just feels the meter fastest. It doesn't even, I mean, they might do more damage or, like, you know, be flashy and cool looking, but it's like, dude, I just want the meter to be full, so that's what I'm going to use. And with the blink ability from the Phoenix thingy, it seems like it's going to be useful to, like, get right up on the enemy, and then, even though there's, like, the wind-up part, where you're open to attack, as long as it hits, you're good, so I think I'm going to keep this set up for the duration.
I'd expect as much from Hugo's faithful, but these were men of the fist.
Much has changed in the Republican army since they lost their rock.
You've seen this kind of thing before, then?
Many times. I was sent here to observe the situation.
You're one of Rutherford's men. He sent me to look for you.
Well, then you have my thanks. I fancy I could defend myself against one, perhaps two, but a whole regiment. I arrived in Dalimil several days ago, but when I called upon the captain of the local garrison to make inquiries, his men confiscated my effects and locked me in a cell.
The captain is no more, and his men make the rules now.
Fortunately, I was able to bribe my way free, only to be stopped again by those soldiers you so kindly dispatched.
What of the Fist's Central Command? Surely they wouldn't allow such lawlessness amongst their ranks.
I would imagine they are unaware of it. Most of the army has fallen back to the capital and hunkered down behind her walls. Those who weren't recalled now rule the fringes unchecked, answering to no one but themselves.
Then it's worse than we imagined. You should return to Rosaria. It's not safe here.
I'll find a caravan heading north. You won't mind if I borrow one of these soldiers' coin purses?
Not at all. Now, to find this second associate of Rutherford's.
Alright, so...
If he was bound for Oriflamme, I'll start at Northreach and see if I can pick up his trail.
Even though I want to get those side quests done where, like, you know, Joshua and Jill stay with you for, like, the duration. Once I'm done with this one, I'm just gonna, like, I said that before, like, right? I said, only main story quest from here on out, but, like, this time, legit, like, only main story quest from here on out, because nothing... Yeah, this is slowing me down, man, and I can feel all my momentum. I got all the momentum. It's like there's not much left. Just gotta go to Canver, do that part, the boat part, then we go to Ash, then we get transported to the interdimensional thing, then we get out, then we... Wait a minute. Because at some point the crystal goes... Oh, that's right. Wait a minute. No. We probably go to Ash, fight Barnabas. But then that's the thing, right? Is like, I thought we get... Yeah, we get teleported. But then the crystal gets Whatever. That. Oh, you know what? I think that's the part where like Ultima tries to bargain with us, and then we reject him, and he's like, "Kill these effers," and then yeah, and then we take down Odin, and then we go back to Hideaway, and it's like okay, and then, yeah, like that's the part where it's like okay, if you have anything you need to do left in the game, do so now. If not, enjoy the ending. Because final dungeon is not a final dungeon, and it was just a series of boss fights, which threw me off so much the first time.
There's a lot of road between here and the capital. Rutherford's man could be anywhere.
Luckily, he's less than 70 yards away. Is that yards? Is that measure? Unit of measure, right? Is it not meters? Or is it just Y to like confuse you? Like maybe it's yalms like in 14.
What happened here?
If you're with the others, they've already relieved me of my belongings.
Yeah, dude, I'm already thinking of what's ahead of me in the game. It's not. It's just a bunch of fighting. Like there's not that much more nonsense as far as like the draggy middle section. Thank goodness.
Of the 7 high houses of Rosaria.
So go to Canver.
It's been
fight the second in command of Barnabas.
a long time since last I saw my great
We're on the boat.
Is she well?
From Canver? Because we gotta save Jill. But then he like teleports away right to Ash.
Has granted me leave
then we go to Ash.
I was on my way back from
somehow get transported to the interdimensional thingy.
Bandits.
Yeah, because that's what happens. There's like a because I think that's how we get rid of the crystal, right?
In the end.
Yeah, I think so, but I could be wrong. Because I think you just do that. But then you.
Which way did they go?
I forget how that goes. But yeah, somehow there's like an interdimensional section.
I'll take care of them.
And you beat Odin.
Fiona knows I've met enough of their kind. You head back to Northreach. Visit the
you
Vale. Tell them I sent you.
Go back to Hideaway. And it's just the final dungeon after that, right?
Found to be your shield.
I'm pretty sure that's what happens. Because like after the. Yeah, because I think that's why it's so abrupt. It's like you get, the Ash part done, and you're like, okay, there's that like super duper black crystal thingy, like whatever. That's right. There's that. Okay, like because the Ash crystal goes away, but then there's like a weird like re-emergence of like the last one. That's like what the F is this. But then you go to it, and it's not a dungeon. It's just a boss fight section. But it's literally the end of the game. So it's like okay. So I should be able to finish this by 9 a.m. hopefully.
Couldn't resist, could they?
I say 9 a.m. because I want to like stay on my sleep schedule for work, so that's what I'm trying to do. So I need to stop doing side quests like this and just focus on main story quests, and I should be good. Especially with my whatchamacallit. Current skill setup. Thank you. Can't see. I can't effing see, dude. Oh damn. Two slashes there. Ow. Oh, I should have did that. I should have saved it for Canver, but whatever. I'm sure I'll build it up by then. No big deal. Okay, for a second I was like, what the F is going on? Dancing still. Boom. I missed that. Nice time it back. Yeah, dude, over 100k easy. Whereas like when I changed it to like the flippin' Phoenix Garuda Ramu, it was like what 40k. It was not good damage. It was not. I mean, without Giga Flare, dude, Giga Flare is like a ton of damage, so it's like just a giant beam of, you know, death. So you know when you lose that, you're definitely losing DPS for sure.
Make for the town while you can. There may be more bandits nearby.
You don't need to tell me twice. Many thanks, traveler.
Many thanks, traveler.
This looks to be all of them.
I thought I told you to make for the Vale.
And stand by as ill might befall the heir to the ducal throne.
Oh, speaking of
It's
Val, I'm
just
supposed to
Clive.
play Destiny.
And
No.
fire.
Oh.
Which is more than going to be said for you.
I will survive.
Strange that the garrison wouldn't intervene in such a brazen attack so close to
My
their
5
gates.
levels for the week.
The garrison have their hands full inside the city. Some days they don't even send out patrols.
Yeah, this
There are
is
few
the
hands left to work the fields.
the
and
one
even
where
fewer
like
to
shows how
transport
bad
the
it
grain.
is after
The
the
market stalls are nearly bare,
crystals
and
go
the
away.
price for what remains is exorbitant. It's not uncommon to see a fight break out over a crust of bread. When I said the ones who attacked me didn't have the look of bandits, I meant it. They were probably just desperate.
Rockford, listen to me. If you are to continue your investigation, you first need to seek the attention of a healer.
Of course. I shall return to Northreach right away. But allow me to thank you first. Had you not happened along,
Don't thank me. Thank Rutherford. It was he who sent me.
I suppose he'll be wondering where I've got to. I shall send a Bastolus as soon as I'm able. Good day.
My uncle certainly has his work cut out for him. If it isn't already too late. I should go and tell Rutherford that his colleagues are still in one piece.
I think I was going to say something. I forgot what I was going to say before that. I didn't want to talk over it. Curses. Whatever. What was I saying? I don't remember, dude. That's the thing. I'm just like, I don't remember. Was I going to say something? Maybe I wasn't. Whatever. I don't even remember what I was talking about. So it's like, yeah, I think I remember. So it's like, yeah, dude. Oh, I think I was going to say something about
you're
like.
still here.
Yeah, of course, I start
The
talking
restless
to dialogue.
location affords a constant flow of traders, and with it, a constant flow of information. Speaking of which, I received word from both my associates. They have resumed their investigations, thanks to you.
I only happened to be in the right place at the right time. They both seem to think the realm's prospects rather grim.
I am afraid that grim would be putting it lightly. Storm is in crisis, and if we are to free her, we must work quickly. And we must work together. Such is your Lord Uncle's wish.
As it is mine.
I was gonna say something about. I hope there's like, or I wonder if there's an accessory to like increase Giga Flare damage. But I think that's just a thing to increase the cooldown, which is unfortunate because I'd rather have extra damage.
I will see that your Lord Uncle is made aware of the situation in both Dalmekia and Sanbrek. And inform him of your timely assistance, of course.
But yeah, I was also gonna say no more side quests. Just gonna focus on the main story from here to the end. Even though I said that multiple times already, this time I means it. I means it this time. I means it. 10%. Oh wow, so I could put on a 10, 15, and 30, but then I wouldn't be able to get my easy combos now, would I? Oh. Wait a minute. I've got... You know what, it's fine. Because I'm like, if I have 2 of these, then effing... I would be able to make the... Wait a minute. Oh wait, that's right, it didn't show up. That's right, it didn't show up on the crafting list with 2 of those. Okay, that's right. And then I didn't get around to crafting the AP gain or the XP gain ones, which I probably should, since if I finish the game, I'll not be able to make those for a while. The 3rd playthrough, I don't even think, yeah, man. Cooldown, damage, oh wait, no, gauge. Cooldown, or damage. Yeah, let me look for the, Giga Flare damage. Okay, cooldown, that's it. Okay, there's no Giga Flare damage buff. That's all I wanted to check. Just making sure real quick. I think I saw a thing for, Judgment Bolt. No? It was, okay, it wasn't Judgment Bolt, it was something else. It was Thunderbolt, or Thunderstorm. 20%, yeah. Because I was like, Judgment Bolt damage would also be nice, because it does a ton of damage. But I don't see that either, so... Herp-a-derp-erp. I mean, I could check each vendor in the flipping game so far, just to, like, double check, but it's like, dude, that would be... kind of not... Well, it would be worth it, I guess. It just... time... Yeah, it's fine. Alright. Let's, head over to... Well, let me resupply my items in Hideaway. Then I will head to... Well, this is Canver? To Boar. Then we'll be on our way to Canver. And then... No more side quests until I'm at the very end and I can make a save. That's like, I'll go back and do the side quest from here. As long as I get one... Blah, 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 I can't talk. As long as I don't get one of those messages where it's like, alright, you can't go past this point unless you want to skip over whatever the F.
Clive.
Because it did give me that message this time.
Go on then.
As well.
It'd better all be here.
Before Titan destroys the first hideaway. So I would think if it gave me that message, it would give me... Well, you don't get a second one. That's why I'm like, you probably are good to just go to the end and make a save. Come back and do the rest of the side quests at the end, but then it's like, that's the thing though, at the end it's like, you're not going to need to get any of that stuff if you can get through the game with all the stuff you haven't crafted or whatever, so it's like, yeah, at that point it's super unnecessary. I mean, not really, because you can use it in the 3rd difficulty playthrough, but it's like, dude, I think I'll be done for a while if I get to that point where it's like, I mean, it depends on like what you get in the 3rd playthrough, honestly. I mean, I'll probably do it just because I am enjoying the game, but it's like, this is kind of disappointing me on like the stuff that you get on the 2nd playthrough, and the fact that you can't effing it like nerfs you on the effing crafting, dude. It's like you can't have two of the same accessories equipped. Oh, I should have screenshotted that, dude. I effing forgot. Just to be like, F this game, but whatever. Alright, I'm going to turn my mute on. And I am going to proceed to just beat the crap out of this game. And I'm not going to stop until Ultima's dead again. Well, I guess dead's kind of like defeated. There we go, because it gets weird, dude. The whole, he has to have like a vessel to possess to have corporeal form. It's a thing, it's whatever. Anyway, turning my mute on. Let's let them go.
Opportunity beckons. Who among you is bold enough to heal?
Cyril. How fares the search?
Well, Your Grace, my report shall be with you ere long.
Ah, yes. Yotei is otherwise engaged, at my behest.
And the duty of wardenship?
Fulfilled. For as you see, I've been reunited with my first shield.
I am Cyril, Knight of the Undying and bearer of the Burning Quill, charged with chronicling the mortal deeds of His Grace, Joshua Rosfield, keeper of the Flame of the Phoenix and rightful Archduke of Rosaria.
I entrusted Cyril here with overseeing the investigation into Ultima's origins. Findings from his brothers and sisters afield are delivered here to be collated and catalogued.
Just how many Undying are there?
Not nearly enough, milady. Yet we are glad to give our all in service to the Phoenix. Such is, and has ever been, our creed.
I see.
You have your associates, I have mine. But you may now think of them as ours. That won't be a problem, will it?
The Phoenix is our sun, and we but the shadows that quicken in his radiance. It is from the darkness that we serve, both him and now you. Pray accept this token. For as long as you bear it, members of our order will reveal themselves unto you. If there is nothing further.
No. You are dismissed.
Your Grace.
The Canva, then?
We'll talk about this later. Cyril seemed very, You certainly keep strange bedfellows, Joshua.
Yeah, dude, I felt like there's some, like, implicit, like, foreshadowing there, but then, like, I've played... On the first playthrough, I did all the side quests, and, like... Cyril's on the up and up, you know, but there... It does, like... At least when, like, effing... Torgal's growling at him, it's like, dude, like, Torgal wouldn't growl at someone unless they're, like, evil, so it's like, I kind of feel like there might be some sort of, like, you know... Maybe in the extended stuff that we haven't seen, he, like, is, like, not a good person, but... Nah, I didn't have it in the first playthrough, so... I mean, he did some, like, really... He did... Well, not say really underhanded, but he did some underhanded stuff with the Undying as far as, like, you know, just having them, you know... It's whatever. It's... If there's, like, some excavation site where, like, they're like, dying or whatever. Or not... Or the way they do their research and stuff, it's like he doesn't care about, like, how it gets done. And then they, like, some of them die, like, unneedingly. And it's just like, yeah, whatever, dude. And then Clive's like, oh, Cyril, you shouldn't be like this, blah, blah. And then he's like, okay, dude, whatever. And then it's whatever. It's a whole thing. It's not, like, it doesn't, like, really rise to the level of this dude's evil, in my opinion. So it's like, I'm kind of, like, of the mind of, like, yeah, until I see it, I'm not too worried about Cyril. So anyway, let's continue.
Free cities under siege? Who'd have thought it?
Mr. Cyril, luckily. And thank goodness he told us before we set out.
But yeah, if you go this way, there's a notorious monster. I'm not sure if it's up right now, but it's basically at the end of the path. But we're not going that way, so going this way.
Let us be rid of it.
There's also some slight collision issues if you're like if you're like in an area where like the wall like sticks out like this, and like, you know, there's like shelving stuff with like this, something like that, where like the elevation goes up or down, and like you or the enemy gets stuck on it. It gets like, it gets weird. The game doesn't break per se, but it just like, it does feel off. Like that right there just didn't, yeah. I feel like it's supposed to be, you know, combat is not supposed to be like happening on those environments because you get stuck on them, or not stuck, but like you get, you know, it's not as smooth. You get like hung up on it, and it's not smooth. And there's like, you know, it's not clipping or anything. It's just like the characters like move into it, and it's just super not smooth. But yeah, it looks like we got orcs on our way to Canberra.
Clive. Smoke.
Is the city fallen?
The free men are still holding their own, then.
Do we have any idea where Gav and the others might be?
There's a warehouse near the docks where we agreed to meet if there was any trouble. We should hurry.
Alright, so we're officially in the home stretch. Just got this, then the boat section, then Ash, then the interdimensional thing, whatever. And then I think after that is the final section? I could have this wrong in my brain, but I'm pretty sure that's the order. Because you go Canver, the boat section with Jill. Somehow we rescue Jill, right? Yeah. Okay, that happens too. And then we go to Ash, and then there's like the multidimensional part, but then we also end up beating Odin, who is Barnabas. Then we go back to Hideaway, and then we go back for one last fight, because Ultima is like, alright dude, it's time to cast my spell, and he's like, okay, that doesn't happen. He like does a thing where he casts a spell and like stuff happens. And he's like, yes, my plan is in place. Well, he doesn't have any like, you know, diatribe monologue, unfortunately, because I'm just so like in that mode. But like, if and you know, I'm gonna cast my spell, guys. Yeah, it's like Ultima, Primogenesis complete. Time for next spell that does the other thingy. And it's like, oh, and it's like, alright, Clive and friends, Mythos, you will meet me, or this realm is dead from all the ether I have collected over the eons, and my other spell will kill everybody anyway, so you have no choice. And then, yeah, so that's that. And then that's, well, stuff goes down at the end. I'm not going to say what happens, so you're going to have to stick around for that. But yeah. The home stretch for everything is awesome. So, let us continue. Dude, I did the thing again where like I was at the map and I didn't move the cursor to where it needed to be, and I just went back into the thing I just was at. Anyway, we're going to Canver. Let's definitely do it. That's my bad.
Sounds like thunder.
You're late. We're starting to think you'd stumbled off a cliff.
I seem to recall that was you, Gav.
Good to see you. Any trouble on the road?
Nothing we couldn't handle.
I knew you'd come. Is that who I think it is?
Yes.
Allow me to introduce my brother, Joshua.
Clive's told me all about you. Or even listening most of the time. Name's Midadol, but everyone calls me Mid.
My lady.
Eh?
My boy.
Uncle Byron.
It's really you. I never thought I'd see the day.
So these Akashic are being controlled.
That's what it looked like. Empty eyes, eerie blue glow. No doubt they were turned, but silent as monks, every last one of them.
Your man here speaks true, Clive. We saw more than a few in this city. They moved in ranks with a purpose, and not of their own.
Ultima's doing.
Perhaps.
What of the city? The people?
Dead, mostly.
Mostly, but not all. A handful managed to lock themselves in their villas before the Horde arrived. Some in the Merchants' District to the west, and a few others on the far bank.
If the Akashic stumble across either hiding place, a few bolted doors won't hold them for long. We need to find them. And quickly.
What do you propose?
We split into two parties. I will make for the Merchants' District, while you look to those across the river. Mind keeping an eye on my brother?
Not at all. We find the villa and try the servants' entrance.
Understood.
And what of us?
Mid, is she fit to sail?
The ship, the Mithril engine could probably do with a few more tweaks.
Then you better work fast. Even if we do reach the survivors in time, they'll never make it to the hideaway on foot.
You leave that to me.
See that Mid doesn't get herself into trouble, would you?
Think I can manage that?
I'll keep him safe.
Looks like you stuck with me, Byron.
That's Lord Rossfield, you little gutter snipe!
Shall we then?
And you keep Clive safe.
Be careful. Both of you.
You too.
All right, Torgal. Let's find those survivors. They don't stand a chance against those things.
It's over. Over here. Get him.
They're wearing Waluta armor.
Get him. This one. All yours, Torgal. Get him.
finished. That sounded big. Joshua and Jill must be busy.
All yours, Torgal.
Nice try.
This one. Go, Torgal. Get him. Over here. Over here. Get him. This one. Torgal, kill. Over here. Now, Torgal.
This is the Agora, where the city's leaders gather. There may still be survivors inside.
What? Over here! Go!
You've caused quite the commotion. But then I would expect no less from you, Muthos.
You again. I don't believe we've been introduced. You were in my family's crypt. And now you're here. With an army of Akashic thralls.
Manners, Lord Rosfield? They are men, like you and me. Albeit ones unburdened by the wills that drive our kind to madness. They are pure. They are divine.
What?
And they are all that remains in this once raucous city.
You'll pay for what you've done.
As you wish. I confess I have been very much looking forward to this. Pardon me this indulgence, Your Majesty. The vessel shall not be spoiled. I am Sleipnir of House Harvard, and you will yield. Or not. You will forgive me if my performance seems uninspired. It is just that I expected so much more from our chosen one. Perhaps this will kindle your flame?
What now?
A gift from my liege lord Zarnai. Gungnir. Watch closely, Mythos. Yes! Yes!
Actually, I wouldn't.
Over here!
It's all ready.
Nice try.
vessel is strong. My liege.
Clive!
You're all right.
As are you, I see.
We are, yes.
I'm sorry, but we couldn't save them.
It was over before we arrived.
Well, you did what you could. I fear we were all too late. What's wrong?
Nothing. I hope.
Leaving so soon, Mythos?
It's the king.
Indeed. You may kneel before Barnabas Tharm, Warden of Ash and King of Waloed.
Get back.
Wild and impetuous. I expected more of the boy who bested my Lord Commander. Yet I see why my master covets you so. The power within you, Mythos. The potential.
Stop calling me Mythos.
But Mythos is everything. The cornerstone of all creation. The Lord's vessel. Your purpose.
My purpose? To surrender my mind and body to that thing. No, Your Majesty. My purpose is my own. I made a promise to my friends, to my people. And nothing is going to stand in my way.
You would allow this delusion of free will to bar your path to greatness? Truly, your volition is a cancer. One that must be excised.
Try it.
All the rest.
Joshua!
beyond reckoning, and they use it as a crutch. Such a waste.
Will he be all right?
The phoenix can mend flesh, but the spirit must recover on its own. I'm afraid the rest is up to him. This place is remarkable. Outfitting it must have been no small feat. But why go to such trouble?
That beauty's belly's filled with wonders the world ain't ready for. If the guilds caught wind of what we're up to, they'd all want a piece. All right?
And how is he? Do not blame yourself. He was barely breathing when you brought him here. We would have lost him if it were not for you.
No. Barnabas may have severed nigh every sinew in my brother's body. But he made certain the wounds were not fatal.
Nigh every sinew?
Allow me, your lordship. Don't know what I was thinking, putting you to the trouble like that.
'Tis no trouble carrying comestibles to my ailing nephew.
I know, but you've already done so much for us. Pouring your gil into the hideaway and now the ship. I don't want to take the piss.
You risked your life. And for what? Some girl you hardly know. Why'd you do it? You got mad or something?
I wouldn't go that far.
Clive!
You're awake, my boy. Oh.
All I want to do is help. And the world won't save itself. It was Sid. Your father, who taught me that.
Sounds like him.
Don't you dare do that again.
What of the Royalists?
Fucked off, the lot of them, along with the galleon. With the king on board, no doubt. Behind here, I wouldn't sail without him. Clive. Jill didn't come back.
What do you mean?
She kept the king busy while the others dragged you out.
It's all right, Mid. Jill is fine.
The ether of her icon endures. And as long as it does, we can be certain she is alive.
We must pursue the Black Galleon. Jill will be with the king, I'm sure of it.
Well, good luck catching him, because my ship's going nowhere. It's the Mithril engine. She's got a kick like a wild chocobo and a mind to tear the hull in half.
But you have an idea.
Well, of course I do. My dad'll have seen this coming a league off. If I had his old writings...
If you had his old writings, you'd be sitting under a fuckload of rubble. The ones Otto didn't save anyway. I suppose he might still have a few pages in his stores.
We'll have to hope it's enough. Do what you can to ready the ship. I'll speak with Otto.
In your condition, you really are mad.
Perhaps. But the world really won't save itself. Gav said that Otto might know something.
It just dawned on me that I meant to be talking to the bard every time, and I completely just dropped that a bit ago, but whatever. It's always next time.
Still alive, are ya? Go on, then. You're rubbing me blind, you know. You'll not find a better price than that. You're rubbing me blind, you know. You'll not find a better price than that. It'd better all be here. You're rubbing me blind, you know. Come again. Or don't. I'm not much bothered either way.
So what do I owe the honour? So, what'll it be? No scratches, right? Not bad, if I do say so myself. No scratches, right? You can thank me later. My best work, but it'll do. You can thank me later. Yeah, that should do you. My best work, but it'll do.
And? If it's knowledge you seek, we've tomes of plenty to...
Said it was an army of Akashi.
How are we supposed to do our duty?
I never actually tried using Cold Snap, but I don't know. I mean, temporarily freezing enemies is kind of a nice thing, but then it's like, you know... I don't know. It's like, that's the thing, right? It's like, can you, like, not dodge with it, or how does that work? I mean, not like it matters, right? Because I suck at dodging, so maybe I should use this, right? Excuse me. Okay, I'm gonna see if. See, I'm like kind of like I haven't looked at the trophy list, so I'm not sure if there's a trophy associated with like learning everything or mastering everything, but there probably is. But I kind of want to just get this one to learn. Oh, I just learned. Okay. Never mind then. Wait a minute, go back. So does it mean you can have Deadly Embrace on something that's not the flippin'... I don't think that's what that means, because I think the initial ability, yeah, you can't do that. Okay. Just curious. Actually, I see something. If I switch this to Ramu, can I not have it on? You can't, okay. Just checking. Alright, but yeah, this is working out pretty good with the dancing still, so I'll just leave it. You still get damage with Judgment Bolt, yeah. Kind of switch it around, I guess, yeah. Because you can unlock Judgment Bolt first, and then, I mean, it's not gonna matter, just my brain is like, that's how I have it on all the rest of these. It's like the one that you learned, or like having in the order that you learned them, or come across them rather. Same with these. Alright, good to go.
The hills are crawling with a Kashik and the valleys are full of ether.
How indeed. My men and I lost an entire day avoiding a flood that wasn't there a fortnight ago.
I'm just gonna keep going. Like, I could do some of the... Am I muted? Okay, I was like, is my mute on? But, like, yeah, I could do some of the Notorious Monsters and then, like, turn it in for the rewards, but it's like, I'm just gonna keep going, like I said, so... Home stretch. Let's just keep pushing.
Clive? But if you're here, where the hell is everyone else? Don't tell me.
They're all right. But it's a long story.
You lot don't do things by halves, do you? Well, at least everyone's still breathing. Now, as for these writings, I'm sorry to say, Clive, but if you had those, you'd be...
Sitting under a pile of rubble, I know.
But we were able to save a few bits and pieces from the ruins, most of which ended up being used to build this place. The more personal items, we gave to the next of kin. In the case of Sid's things, that would have been mid.
Then I'll check the workshop.
Master Sid, have you seen His Highness the Prince? We were to dine together, or so I was going to suggest. Before he vanished, that is. I suppose now I'll just have to ask the Bard.
So I guess this is where the prince disappears.